we get paid to read these books. Formal education will pay you a living. Self-education will pay you a fortune. John Maxwell is preaching real good in his book, In the Law of the Picture. He says, if you desire to be the best leader you can become, you must not neglect the law of the picture. As you strive to improve as an example to your followers, remember these things. He gives us 4 keys to maximizing the law of the big picture. Number 1, followers are always watching what you do. If you are a parent, you have probably already realized that your children are always watching what you do. Say anything you want, but your children will learn more from what they see than from anything else. As Margaret and I realized this early, no matter what we taught our children, they insisted on behaving like us. Oh my God, he's preaching in there. Two sides to that. We want to, people, lazy people don't read books like this. So if you read this, you listen to this, you already a great parent. Just being aware. But there's also 2 sides to it. People that read books like this that want to get better, we are conscious of being a great example for our children and everybody else. But also, I know children that have grown up in terrible circumstances and are successful. You got to be, at some point, once you get to a certain age, you can't be blaming your parents. You get old enough to make your own decisions, you got to realize that everybody in your environment that you come across, they're either the example or they're the warning. Fortunately, maybe your parents are the warning. Like I've read in one of these books I read, it was like one guy, tough life, made mistakes, got in trouble, got incarcerated, blah, blah, blah. They interviewed the guy, and he was like, look at my dad did this, my mama did this, I grew up in this neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. What was you going to expect? And then another guy grew up, finished college, finished medical school, successful doctor, grew up in the same house. Well, why were you successful? How did you end up where you are? Hey, did you see my dad and my mom in the house, the neighborhood I grew up in? I knew I didn't want to have that life. What do you expect? Teammates, you have to, and I don't know what the first time I heard that before, but that's so true. Everybody you're dealing with is either the example or the warning. Now, you got to be aware of that, and you got to discern which one is which. They watching. Point 2. It's easier to teach what's right than do what's right. Ooh, wait, boy, you know so much about being successful. It's so much easier said than done. Y'all ever heard that saying before? It's easier said than done. That's basically what he's saying. Nothing is more confusing than people who give good advice but set a bad example. Good God Almighty Jesus. He said nothing is more confusing than people that give good advice but set a bad example. In leadership, I know if I'm telling somebody something to do and I haven't done it or I'm not doing it, I feel convicted. You should feel the same way. If you're reading enough stuff about winning and what you need to do about discipline and blah, 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 you should be thinking it will change the way you think, that eventually change your actions and going to change your results. Point 3, we should work on changing ourselves before trying to improve others. Then he talks about Charlie Brown and Lucy. Lucy telling Charlie Brown she going to change the world. And Charlie Brown said, where are you going to start? She said, I'm going to start with you. That's funny. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to start with you. Teammates, listen. And I'm a maniac, obsessed about self-development. We working so hard on being positive. We don't have time to be negative. We get paid to read these books. It is just an amazing, positive bubble that, we create to live in, operate in. But with that said, absolutely, positively, when I talk to other people who, I guess, just not that mature in their leadership, they always talk about what somebody else needs. This is the book my people need. This is something that somebody else needs. It's always about, and it ain't got but 3 people. They got 2 people, and this is what they need. Like, you don't have enough people you talk about what somebody else needs. T-Baby, listen, I'm telling you, I'm being as sincere as I can tell you. I'm reading this book for me. Anybody else hearing my voice right now, I'm hoping my journey to self-development inspires you to get on one for you. But I promise you, I'm reading this book for me. You need to be reading for you too. You take care of, look, when on an airplane, when the daggone plane start crashing, they say you put your oxygen mask on first. Then you worry about saving somebody. I'm putting my oxygen mask on right now. Are you putting your oxygen mask on? All right. Work on yourself first. And then the last point. Number 4. The most valuable gift a leader can give is being a good example. Leadership is more caught than taught. I remember I heard that before a long time ago. I was like, what are you talking about? How does one catch leadership? By watching good leaders in action. The majority of leaders emerge because of the impact made on them by established leaders who model leadership and mentored them. So then he goes on, he says, John Maxwell says, I caught perseverance by watching my father face and overcome adversity. I caught encouragement by looking at how Ken Blanchard valued people. I caught vision by seeing Bill Bright make his vision become reality. Teammates, my coach in business, I caught work ethic from him. Like, I caught work ethic because my coach is relentless. Oh my God. I ain't even seen nobody to be up 6 o'clock in the morning doing this all day long. I mean, just non-stop. Like, that was amazing. I didn't grow up around entrepreneurs. I grew up around people that worked at the plant, worked in the factory, or granddaddy worked on the farm. And on the farm, you don't work all night. When you work, when it get dark, it's a wrap. It's over till the next morning. I mean, to see somebody in business and that was relentless on it. We go on trips. We get on a bus or the 0.30. Ride 4, 5, 6 hours or whatever. Get there, get to the meeting, get off, be in the meeting all day, do this, do that, go back, come back. We don't have an emergency meeting after we get back. He was a little bit extreme. My point is, you ought to be around people. I caught that, like, I was attracted to that energy, like, I want to be successful, and I'm unapologetically relentless. And I caught that. So, and leaders, you got to make stuff happen. Excuses don't count at this level. All right, teammates, I hope that helps you. We get paid to read these books. I love you. We'll run this back again tomorrow.